questions we don't ask, not because we lack curiosity, but because we already sense the answer. Tonight, Marax asks one of those questions. What hidden knowledge are you afraid to understand? Not afraid to hear, but afraid to integrate. Let's explore this now in and through the Static Seance.
The whisper caught between stations, neither here nor gone. The hum of voices trapped in the wires, their confessions dissolving into static. A seance not in candlelit rooms, but on flickering screens, where the ghosts don't knock, but distort the signal. Shadows coil in the white noise. If only one dares to alter their own frequency, and listen.
Marax is a keeper of forbidden instruction, of astronomy and herbs, of systems that explain too much to be ignored. He governs the sciences unseen, the rules beneath appearances, and he teaches a truth that unsettles most people. Ignorance does not protect you. It only delays understanding until it arrives violently. Let's begin with the past, because fear of knowledge almost always begins with loss. Marax asks, what truth did you turn away from? Think back to a time where you sensed that learning something would cost you your innocence. A realization that complicated morality. A pattern that revealed human behavior to be less noble than you hoped. A mechanism that showed you how easily belief could be manufactured, engineered, manipulated, broken. So you turned away. Not because you're weak, but because you were protecting yourself. Unfinished business lives here. The intuition that knowledge is irreversible. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Marax does not condemn this hesitation. He names it. Fear was the threshold. Now we arrive at the present. And this is where Marax becomes insistent. He asks, what understanding circles you now? Knowledge rarely arrives head on. It orbits through books you keep meaning to read, concepts that keep resurfacing, questions that won't stay answered the way that you want them to. You feel it brushing the edges of your awareness, not yet demanding entry, but refusing to leave. This is where many people stall. They sense that understanding will dismantle something essential, a belief, an identity, a comfortable narrative. But Marax offers a correction to this. Wisdom does not destroy, it rearranges. So fear says, if I understand this, I'll lose myself. And Marax replies, if you understand this, you'll know where you are. Understanding is orientation. Without it, fear fills in the gaps. So let's speak about the nature of forbidden knowledge. Because Marax governs astronomy and herbs, the macro and the micro, the heavens above, the chemistry below. Systems that reveal interconnection rather than exception. Forbidden knowledge is not evil. It is destabilizing. It dissolves fantasy. Fantasy that the world revolves around comfort. That humans are central. That ignorance is innocence. Marax teaches that clarity protects everything, while ignorance protects nothing. So now let's look to the future and what Marax asks, which is what knowledge will dismantle who you were. This is not a threat, this is an invitation. Some knowledge cannot be added to an old framework. It requires the framework to collapse. The self you were was built without certain information. And that doesn't make it false, it just makes it incomplete. Marax teaches that mastery begins where the fear spikes. That sensation, the tightening in the chest, the resistance, the impulse to look away, that is not danger. That's just the threshold. And beyond it lies a different kind of safety. Not comfort, orientation. And here's the final teaching of Marax for now. You are meant to know what others refuse to learn. Not to dominate, not to boast, but to navigate, to understand the forces at play rather than being crushed by them. Knowledge will dismantle who you were, because who you were was standing in the dark. And when the light comes on, you don't mourn the darkness. You just adjust to the light. So ask yourself tonight, what do I already sense is true, but haven't allowed myself to fully understand? What fear has been guarding a doorway instead of a wound? And if I step forward, not recklessly, but intentionally, who might I become once I finally see? Marax does not rush you with this, but he does not retreat. The knowledge is already there, waiting. And when you're ready, it will not destroy you. It'll guide you.
Raise your hands. I am in the weather. You are there, so make your demands. That when you are here, you remember this letter, and when you